Instruments of a successful marriage. From most punctual occasions of the custom of marriage, couples were sent away with music of different instruments. Music is a significant piece of individuals' lives, and regularly music is a major piece of individuals' vocations. On the off chance that we contrast instruments with the attributes of an effective marriage, we discover the keys to an enduring relationship. Instruments that can speak to the keys to progress are cymbals, violin, harp, piano, and trumpet. A couple whose objective is achievement will cooperate to make wonderful music that will last up to and past the death of a companion. Melodic cymbals speak to the congruity that is required all through marriage. You will discover there are numerous variables that will influence the concordance of your conjugal jobs. Inconsistent conditions like well-being, nuclear family individuals, climate, financial level, or individual earnings can resemble clanking cymbals. In an ensemble, conductors must mix cymbals to fit with different instruments. A couple must cooperate to synchronize their parts as spouse and husband. As you endeavor along with adoration, you will discover concordance. Without agreement, you will resemble two cymbals crashing. The violin speaks to responsibility. At the point when you take your marriage pledges, take them with the possibility that your marriage will last into endlessness. In making a promise to marriage, the two people must mix together for progress. A musician relies on a bow and a violin to make wonderful music. The bow and the violin are totally extraordinary. The bow has a capacity that is independent from the violin. However, the two sections perform together to deliver a sweet stable. It is the equivalent in marriage. You have various foundations, thoughts and abilities. Nonetheless, it will take both of you to make the delightful music of a fruitful marriage. A harp represents love. Love in marriage resembles playing satisfying music on a harp with strings. A maestro is roused by the adoration for the sound, to rehearse numerous extended periods to consummate his aptitude. In marriage, love propels the great habits of generosity and persistence inside marriage. Consider the easily overlooked details that you love around each other. Review these caring activities when things don't go the manner in which you would like, and when you appear to be conflicting cymbals. Be happy to make penances to keep your adoration solid. Adoring signals will reflect in the music of your marriage. During a melodic presentation, a crowd of people frequently makes a decision about an artist's affection for playing the harp by the demeanor all over. While never letting out the slightest peep, the maestro uncovers their pleasure with the melodic sound. In the comparative manner, couples that adore each other will show their joy and satisfaction in their activities and their appearances, just as their words. Trashing comments about your accomplice before others resembles a harp unnatural. At the point when a life partner develops fatigue indicating adoration to the next, frequently marriage will be disposed of in separate. Marriage accomplices resemble an artist that plays resonant harp music, they reflect love and delight for each other. Correspondence in marriage is frequently similar to playing a piano or organ with various sounding notes. On the off chance that a performer plays an off bass note or key on a piano, the audience isn't satisfied. In marriage, if accomplices don't have open and forthcoming correspondence with one another and God, the marriage will go off key and will endure. Try not to stress over the easily overlooked details in marriage. Discussion about issues. Talk about youngsters, budgetary concerns, profession changes and profound issues. Think about one another's assessment. Think about the benefit of having somebody to share your most significant occasions throughout everyday life. Open correspondence and cautious, arranging regularly disposes of stress and nervousness, and stays away from the disagreeable sound of wrong notes. The trumpet of marriage solidarity makes an effective sound for a couple. Regularly a trumpet is played to show regard or adoration of somebody's life. It has been said that an individual frequently honks his or her own horn. In marriage, two must bind together and converge into one nuclear family. You should look to honk the horn of accomplishment together. At the point when you are joined through the obligation of marriage, look for the desire of God in the entirety of your choices. Call upon Him in Jesus' name, to furnish you with shrewdness and direction. Bind together with respectfulness, absolution and benevolence to each other. Show regard for your marriage accomplice. Declare the triumph of your prosperity, by being conscious and noteworthy to each other. Resemble a performer with a trumpet that sounds noisily and plainly. At the point when a few trades promises in the midst of music and yells of cheerful festival, two people are beginning coexistence. As a nuclear family, they resemble artists playing out amicable and pleasant new melody music with their instruments. Instruments like cymbals, harp, piano, violin, and trumpet can help couples to remember the attributes for an effective marriage. The sweet hints of agreement, duty, love, correspondence and solidarity are the instruments of an effective marriage. You develop from the base. You start with the establishment of a house, before you embed the windows or the kitchen sink. Likewise, you start with the establishment of your blend, before you begin adding computerization and impacts. Moving toward your blend, ought to be moved toward also to building a house. Start with the establishment and develop from the base.